I'm gonna kind of go back up on a topic that I've spoken on before, I've talked about before, but just because I think it is time to revisit it. So a little bit about me, if you don't already know, or if you haven't watched some of my videos already. I grew up in Mustang, Oklahoma. Well, my address was Yukon. I went to Mustang schools. I've lived here my entire life other than my 4 years in college when I went to Stillwater. So today's video is Mustang, Oklahoma. Why live here? Why is it a great place to live? Why should you consider moving here, living here, all that kind of good stuff. So what's great about Mustang, Oklahoma? I took some data from the internet, citydata.com. I'm gonna put up a graph that shows like crime rate of Oklahoma versus other places that you can just look at real quick. Also, something that I found on that same website is officers per 1,000 residents. So the Oklahoma average is 2.36 officers per 1,000. Well, Mustang is 1.24. So people ask me all the time, like, is Mustang safe, or is this particular neighborhood safe? I mean, you live in central Oklahoma, so, you know, unless you're in like very select neighborhoods, the answer is almost always yes. But you gotta realize it just takes one crazy person for something to happen. So like, you read Google reviews or whatever, and of restaurants or whatever, and it just takes one person. So you got to take those with a grain of salt. But I lived here my entire life. A lot of my friends and stuff have as well. So is it safe? I would say yes. School system. Again, every once in a while, someone will get a bad teacher that'll get fired, or, you know, I mean, it's a big place, so there's things that happen. But I took some of this data from the internet as well. I used to be a teacher. I taught for 10 years. So I don't necessarily like these websites all that much, because where I taught, I didn't look at it, but I remember the grade wasn't real high, and I disagreed with it. It wasn't Mustang, but gradeschools.org, I don't really know exactly how they pull this data, but they give it a 9 out of a 10. Public Schools Review website gives it an 8 out of 10, top 30%. So they rank it high. Again, I would rank it high too. I may be a little bit biased, but most people, everyone that I talk to, they like it here in Mustang. So I would say the school system is also great. Home affordability, housing. All right, so in Mustang, and I consider Mustang School District, because the actual town of Mustang, the city limits, is not very big at all. But the school district expands and goes into parts of Oklahoma City, parts of Yukon. So I consider Mustang, whenever, for this video purposes, the school district. So in Mustang, there are 487 active homes for sale. So more than likely, you'll be able to find a home that you want to live in. They start at, you can find one from about $150,000. There are no active $150,000 right now that are like livable, but I'm about to list one, so there's one coming up. And they go all the way to over $2.5 million. So there's pretty much something for everyone. 186 new homes. So that's important because new builders offer great incentives a bunch of times. Like, I know a builder here, they were offering like 3.99% interest rate. So depending on when you buy, where you buy, what builder, you can get awesome incentives. So that's why I even point that out. 186 new homes starting at $206,000. So you can get a very affordable home, a new home, for a pretty good price here. And then I went a little bit further, 24 active homes that are on at least an acre. So if you want something with a little bit of acreage, there's 24 homes that are available, and the cheapest, the most affordable one is at $275,000. So again, very affordable. And also, I know a lot of people have been burned in like '08 and stuff like that. So home appreciation. So I just did a really quick little dive. In 2020, the average sales price of Mustang was $221,733. Today, the average sales price is $295,048. So we're just like a constant, it's just constant, steady, but they go up. And then you get into things like restaurants, shopping. So Mustang has a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of good, like the Local is a great, there's some Mexican restaurants. But also where Mustang is, like geographically in Oklahoma, highways. So you got Airport Road that takes you to I-44, that takes you to the city. You got Interstate 40 that you can just hop on. You got Kilpatrick Turnpike. So there's a bunch of restaurants in Mustang, but even if you want to go to Edmond or Oklahoma City downtown, it's 15 minutes away. You just hop on, depending on what part of Mustang you're in, hop on Airport Road, get on the highway, go to I-40, and you'll be in Bricktown and eat anywhere you want to in 15, 20 minutes, depending on what time of day you leave. So restaurants, shopping, there's Crest just right north on Check Hall. There's Aldi in Yukon. There's tons of shopping. There's tons of restaurants. There's tons of grocery stores. Like, you literally have everything you need. And again, like I just hit on, if your kids have a baseball game in Edmond, you take the turnpike to Edmond, you'll be there in 30 minutes. If you want to go to Oklahoma City, you can got a mosquito. You can kill, or you can get to Oklahoma City for games, or go to El Reno. I know a lot of Little League football games are in El Reno. Mustang has a good Little League sports complex. It's got baseball, football, softball, all that stuff. So that being said, like, there's tons and tons and tons of awesome reasons to consider living here. And then I'm going to give you one con. So like I said, I grew up in Mustang, Oklahoma. Honestly, it's a different town than when I grew up. I graduated high school in 2006, and like where there were fields, like we used to park on the side of the road and go frog gigging and, in ponds, or go fishing or pond hopping or whatever. Most of those are neighborhoods now. So I would say the biggest con to Mustang is just how fast it's grown and how much bigger it is compared to what it used to be. So this may not be a con if you didn't grow up here. If you did grow up here, I think it would be considered one, just because I miss, how much smaller it was. But it still does have that small town feeling for kind of being a big city. But yeah, so those are my reasons to consider moving here, to consider living here. If you have any more questions, if you have a home to sell here, if you want to buy a home here, give me a call so that we can talk and help you accomplish your goals. Thanks.